United Indie Agents. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Want to go over a couple trainings that we have. The first one is tomorrow at 11 here at the office. That's going to be put on by our favorite Jeff Crane, and it's going to be a 2 hours of CE. And the subject matter is understanding electrical inspection responses. So electric comes up every time. It's always a safety issue, so we're always dealing with it. I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more in a deeper level how those work and what they actually mean when it comes to inspections. Anyway, that's tomorrow here at the office at 11. Please RSVP to Alicia. Then on Wednesday, September 8th at 11 a.m., we're gonna have a roundtable and we're gonna talk about stale listings. So these listings where you might need to start thinking about a price reduction or things like that. That's becoming more and more common. Days on market is slowly creeping up. And that is gonna be a roundtable. So again, a roundtable is where we sit here in the office and everybody contributes, everybody listens. I kind of help moderate, but it's a time for really a collective sharing of our collective knowledge. So that's a roundtable on the 11th with the subject being stale listings. Quick story, I had a closing just a little while ago. I don't know how many of you can relate to this story, but we closed on it. It was over in Steinmeier Farms. And this morning I got up and I was like, how long have I been working with these clients? I went back into my email. I did a presentation for them on this property that I sold today. I did a presentation for them 13 years, 2 months, and 15 days ago. So back in 2013 was the first time I went over there and did a listing presentation for them. I think it's a record for me. I don't think I've ever gone, I either do a listing presentation and I never sell it because I never got the listing, or maybe a year or 18 months I eventually get the listing and sell it, but I've never had that 13 plus year change. So anybody out there, I'd be curious to hear your story, how long you went from initial listing to actually getting a sale. Thanks for letting me go down memory lane real quick. I just thought I'd share that with you. But I also want to talk to you guys about something I learned this week. So I had an agent come to me, and they were a listing agent. They never sold the home, and due to inspections or whatever, the transaction fell apart, and then the listing fell apart, and the seller and our agent mutually released away from each other, no problem. Well, lo and behold, that listing seller relists with somebody else, and a buyer comes along, one of our agent's buyers who is interested in that property. So that begged the question, what can you as a buyer's agent share with with your client who you're now representing, the buyer? How much can you share your knowledge about the property or the seller themselves when that information, you learn that information while you were representing the seller? And basically everything. You can share material defects with the home that you learned when you had that listing. You can share those with your buyer. You can even share with your buyer if the seller's difficult, or if they're easy to work with, or reasonable or unreasonable. You can even share that with your buyer client, because you're now representing them and you're not representing the seller. Now, you wouldn't want to slander your seller by saying, they're liars, or they're, crazy, difficult people who are hateful. You don't want to go over the top, but you can share your experience with your client, your current client, about a previous client. I just thought that was really interesting. I'd never had that question, so I called IAR Legal, and they were the ones who gave me that answer. So if you ever find yourself in that position, now you know. If you forget, you can give me a call, because I'll remember. Give me a call if you guys need anything. Thanks, guys.